Okay, here's our babies. We have 5 babies. Look at that. Let me back it up a little bit. Can you come on down here and take a look? Huh? We have 4 yellow-based baby and 1 white-based baby. This little guy over here belongs to Fluffy and Sprite. He's got his legs taped, but he's standing up. He's a normal green single-factor spangle. So we'll take him. Now we've taken a good look at him. You can see his wings. The hallmark of a spangle is their wings are colored backwards. A normal bird has black wings with a yellow tip around the edge. And spangles have white or yellow wings with a black tip around the edge. And that's exactly what this little guy has. He's a regular green color on his belly. And off he goes back to mommy and daddy. Okay, this little guy down here is my only white-based baby. And it is very clear that, if you can, I don't know if you can see that. Let me hold you up next to the light here. Can you see that cobalt blue at the base of that tail right there? He's definitely going to be a cobalt. He's definitely, there's a pale yellow coloration to his tips of his feathers, which means he's a yellow-face, and having 2 yellow-face parents, that was pretty predictable. We don't yet know what's going on with the wing patterns yet. We'll just have to wait and see whether he's going to be a spangle or not. But we have a yellow face and a cobalt. And the fact that I can see a wash of yellow over his pin feathers means that he's a single factor yellow face. Okay, let's put him back in there. And then let's look at our 3 chicks by Sparky and his lady. Okay, so we have yet another surprise going here. Our little normally colored baby here is not a normal. When I spread out his wing, come here, little guy. When I spread out his wing, you can see that his wings are not black with a yellow edge. They are yellow with a black edge. So he is a single factor spangle. So I think all of these babies are single factor spangles. But he's a single factor. Oh, stop hanging on to the paper, you guys. All right, I'm taking the paper. Hang on. You guys are a mess. Come here. There. Okay. There. Goodness gracious. All right. So we're back there. So he's actually a normal single factor spangle. He's a dark green, as you can see by his tails. See the base of his tail right there is very dark. And his feathers coming in on his belly are dark. And this is what a normal single factor spangle looks like with a dark green. The yellow feathers with a black edge around them. Okay? So he actually doesn't look like either of his parents. This little guy down here, Mr. Yellow Yellow, is coming in with that very light, kind of olivey color. But this one right here is green, whereas this one's kind of olive. So now I'm wondering, is Sparky maybe a gray-green? Because these two still are not exactly the same. This guy has less green on him. So let me see this little guy right here. Let's not take the paper with us. See, his belly feathers are coming in, and they're that gray-green. So maybe Sparky isn't an olive. Maybe he's a gray-green. But that doesn't explain the dark factor on the other baby. So we're still a little mystified here. But we definitely have a gray-green or olive coloring on this baby. So he couldn't be, since his mommy doesn't have any dark factors, then he can't be an olive or a double dark factor. He can only be a single dark factor, which tells me that maybe his father is a gray-green rather than a olive green. But still, he's a dilute for sure. Spangle, maybe gray-green rather than olive, because he can't be an olive, so it's got to be gray-green. So Sparky here may be a gray-green bird rather than an olive, like I thought. This little guy, I think, is the single factor spangle. You can see the feathers, yellow with a gray edge. But he has green. See that green there? That's dark green rather than olive. So I think he's going to be a little different than his brother. Oh, Mama's there. She says, what are you doing to my nest? Okay, there. I'll close the top so you can go in and see your babies. Okay, so that's an update on the babies.